Straw Hut Media.
We're better together with Ann and Heather.
Hi, everybody. Welcome back to Better Together with Jason Tartick. our favorite month. And we do have to say that we had the pleasure of being on Jason's show. Last week we were interviewed, and I think it's very exciting that we were trading secrets on Trading Secrets.
It was so much fun to have you guys and to hear, everything about both of your journeys and kind of your partnership as a team, everything from Dancing with the Stars to, all you're the book you wrote and the stories you've told. And I think what's really cool is like each chapter or both of your lives have impacted you guys in such a way that it's accelerated everything you've done in the next chapter and why, and kind of piecemealing that story together. It was such a pleasure, and I've been listening to it back, and it was really a special time. So
thanks for having us.
It was so special. And I think we have something to sing to you. Happy birthday to you. Happy birthday to you. Happy birthday, Jason Tartick. Happy birthday to you. Did you have a fantastic birthday? I know. I want to know. How did your gorgeous Caitlin celebrate you?
Oh, it was, it was really cool. It was a special, thoughtful gift. So there's a football team, the Green Bay Packers. It was like 4 weeks ago.
I'm aware of it.
Right? The Green Bay Packers. I said it would be a dream of mine to check off a bucket list to go to Lambeau Field. I just said that in passing. Yeah. Nothing came on. So then nothing happened. It was my birthday. She said, sit down. I have a gift for you. And all of a sudden, the mayor of Green Bay is on my TV. Hey, Jason, I just want to hear. I heard that it was a dream of yours to come to Lambeau. So we're going to have you and Caitlin come to Lambeau January 2nd for the Green Bay Packers Minnesota Vikings game.
That is awesome.
Oh my God.
I say that Jason lives my boy life.
I know.
If I was a boy, I would be Jason Tartick.
They really do. And the gifts, she is really OTT, I got to say. The amazing things that she does, the
OTT?
surprise, over the top.
Oh, is that a thing?
OTT.
What OTT?
Get down with OTT.
I don't even know. I would feel like that's an acronym that you both know. I thought I learned it from you. No, it's so over the top. You guys are so beautiful with the gifts that you give to each other, and it's really so wonderful to hear about. But didn't she surprise you for? Or you surprised her for an anniversary? No. The gift, no. When she did April Fool's on you.
Oh yeah, that wasn't so special.
See, that's OTT. That wasn't so special. You didn't love that one so much. But it is over the top. That's why I said OTT. Anyway,
well, we both had
with the Packers,
some sports heartbreak too. I'm sorry, your Bills lost to Tennessee, and my Dodgers lost to.
I know. I'm sorry.
At least they didn't lose to Houston.
Well, no, it was really sad. That was a sad day. I was like, you played some tennis, and you played like, no, my guys won, my guys lost. So
there's a big difference between my guys won and my guys lost.
Yeah, there is. It's
and
about
when you have a sports team, when they lose, it hurts you for like a week.
And I never know why. I always try to understand, why that is. I know now. Yeah.
There's a difference between winning and losing. Let's talk about winning today. Okay. So Jason, do you want to recap what we talked about with doing the Bitcoin and Ethereum plunge?
Yeah, so we were doing the Bitcoin and Ethereum plunge last episode. We talked a lot about cryptocurrency, which I think is really cool. And I actually passed in one of the places I was at, someone told me, I think they honestly listened to this podcast, and they said I bought my first crypto, which I thought was really cool. I'm trying to think where I was. I was at some type of sports game. Maybe it was the Bills game, and someone stopped. No, I was in Edmonton. I was in Edmonton, an Oilers game, and someone said they heard our crypto podcast, and they bought their first piece of crypto coin.
I love it.
That's
cool. The thing. One of the things I want to talk about is that how I was surprised at how attainable it is. We bought
we did.
A whopping what?
Well, I'm going to pull it up right
now. $50.
But still, you're interested, right?
But this is what people don't understand. They probably think that you have to have a lot of money to do this, and you don't. You could buy $20 worth, right?
Yes. Yeah. In fact, what I did, because I want our listeners to know that we do our homework along with you. So when we challenge ourselves, one of the things that we love about having Jason on the show is the challenge not only to expand and teach us, but Heather and I go along and do it. And it really does become—
We do our homework.
We do our homework. And so there's a thing that I don't know if everybody understands, which is this concept of Coinbase.
Yes.
And maybe that's a way to help explain, because it did take me a minute, I have to say, to try to figure out, because when you go on Coinbase, everybody, just so you, you are going to have to take some steps. Jason, do you want to talk us through those, or how would you like to talk about cryptocurrency today?
Yeah, so I think what we'll do to like kind of refresh this, first of all, it'd be interesting if you guys pulled the clip when we did talk about this a month ago. I think Bitcoin, I'm going to guess, I think Bitcoin was trading at like 45-ish thousand. I could be wrong. Right in the last like week or so, Bitcoin hit 66,000 a share. It hit its all-time high. Wow. So it's interesting that since we spoke, it's increased significantly. So if you guys did buy, you should be up. Now, what we'll talk about is we will talk about a little bit about Coinbase and what it is. Okay. Coinbase, and there's another one called Binance. They're just an exchange. Binance. That's one I use.
Like
Coinbase.
finance, but finance.
Yeah.
Okay.
Now, here's the cool thing about Coinbase. Suppose you say, I don't want to buy cryptocurrency. I don't know how to do it. It sounds weird to me. You could still get involved by owning the stock Coinbase. So you can go to a normal place that you would buy a stock, and the ticker for that is COIN. They're now public. And they were probably, when we podcasted, they were trading at about $230 a share. They're now over $300 a share. So that's something you could be in the game and just buy stock. You don't have to buy crypto.
That's interesting.
Interesting.
Yeah. So Bitcoin right now is at 59,000. And so you had suggested we do Bitcoin or Ethereum, and I really went after the two main ones, and which is what those two are. And so we have $90 in Ethereum.
When we started out with 50?
And we started out, no, we did not start out with 50. We started out with 90, and we're at, so here it is. We started off with 90, and now we're at 91.37.
So we made $1.37?
We did. We made $1.37.
Let's go.
And I'll tell you what, we started we started with Ethereum at $10, and now we're at $10.24.
So
we've made some money.
That is so cool.
That's what Better Together did in the last week. So congratulations, Ryan. You're now a wealthy man.
I want to get it to where we can buy a beer. We can get $2 drafts.
Did you guys buy the crypto coins through Coinbase though?
Yes, I did. Yes. And that's why I'm saying the Coinbase, I think it's kind of interesting, because you also said to do your research. And I think there is a lot of intimidation always around finance, but I was totally intimidated by all of the words that were in front of me when I went and started looking for what it is that we were going to purchase. And I guess I want to say to the audience that it is not as complicated as it looks like. Once you start reading, there are very clear, distinguishing, understanding words that people have put a lot of thought and care into. And one of the things that I wanted to ask you about is a thing called so you can buy the US dollar. This is just something that I didn't understand. Mm-hmm. So can you explain that to me, why I can buy a US dollar and what's different? Because this is different currency.
Does it cost $1?
The dollar costs $1. That's why it's so weird. It is. It's dollar for dollar. And so you're buying a currency that's made by the US government, but you're not, but it's a different kind of investment. So I wanted that clarified for me, please.
Okay, totally. So I think we'll start like right from the beginning. Coinbase, it's just, think about it. It's an app that you can buy, store, and trade different cryptocurrency. So that's what the app does. Now, what you do is, you guys did it. You downloaded the app, and then you'll link some type of exchange that has your US dollars to transfer those over. What does that mean? You download the app, you link your bank account, and boom, they'll send your US dollars over. Now, what I think you're referring to, Anne, is when you have those US dollars, you then have to go buy crypto on this exchange platform that is Coinbase.
Yes.
And so what you'll do is, you'll take the US dollar and you can buy a crypto coin that mirrors the US dollar. So yes. However the US dollar fluctuates, this crypto coin has the same exact value of a paper dollar. And it's this crypto coin that you can now go buy other coins with, right?
Yes.
So you can buy this US dollar coin, and now you can trade that on Coinbase with someone who has Bitcoin. And that's how you'll get your ownership of your Bitcoin.
So I've been trying to cut down on carbs, sugar, and junk food, and realized I basically can't eat anything anymore. And sometimes I'm just really craving something sweet. Magic Spoon is the perfect fix that feels like it's cheating, but it isn't. It has 0 grams of sugar, 13 to 14 grams of protein, and only 4 net grams of carbs in each serving. Plus, there are only 140 calories a serving. It's keto-friendly, gluten-free, soy-free, low-carb, and GMO-free. It really has it all. And if you and your partner have different opinions on cereal flavors, don't worry. Magic Spoon's variety pack comes with 4 flavors: cocoa, fruity, frosted, and peanut butter. All of the flavors from your childhood, but it's super nutritious. I just had the cocoa flavor this morning, and it is the perfect way to start my day. But you can always have a bowl in the afternoon too when you need a little pick-me-up. To get your hands on a variety pack of Magic Spoon, just go to magicspoon.com/better. If you use the special promo code BETTER while checking out, you can save $5 off your order. And Magic Spoon is so confident in their product, it's backed with a 100% happiness guarantee. So if you don't like it for any reason, they'll refund your money, no questions asked. I have a feeling you won't need a refund though. Trust me, my pantry is fully stocked with Magic Spoon at all times. It's so good.
It's not stocked now because I stole it.
Heather stole it. Remember, get your next delicious bowl of guilt-free cereal at magicspoon.com/better and use the code BETTER to save $5 off. Wait, I have another question for you.
Okay.
Since we've talked about this, have you invested any more money into crypto? Because I know that you were talking about percentages, and your friend, and I'm forgetting his name, has say 95% in. And as I was reading about the value of Bitcoin, and that it really, I mean, you really were talking about a major fluctuation. Mm-hmm. It can go up, it can go down. There's a lot of warning signs about that. However, it looks, and from what you're saying, that it pretty much is going up. Are you investing more into the coin?
So what I'm doing, so the guy that you referenced, if anyone wants to go check him out, he's really, really good at what he does. His name's Anthony Popliano.
Okay,
Anthony Popliano on Twitter. You can find him at Pomp. And so his whole thing is he's done really well with business, and he has 96% of his net worth tied into Bitcoin, and he keeps putting money into Bitcoin.
Yes.
Even when Bitcoin went down to like $20,000 a coin, like within the year, he was still like, you guys should buy it. You should buy it. So what I do is like, I mean, we always have very open conversations with one another. So like the exact amount, I have like about $120,000 that's tied up in different cryptocurrencies. And so what I do is I try to buy the dips. So I'll be tracking when the coin is at now.
Yes.
And no one can time a dip perfectly. Nobody. But I keep track of what it's at, and I try not to buy it at its highs, and I try to buy it at its dips.
Well, that's
Go ahead.
No. You go. But I mean, there are charts on there that say that, because I mean, I can show what the screen looks like to Jason. Yeah. I'm doing this for the audience, but so what it tells you right then when it's down, are you looking at the down slope being? Say right now it's at 59. It's at 59,000, right?
Yep.
But are you looking for dips that go to 58, or are you looking for dips that go down 10? Further 10%? Like what should we be keeping an eye out for? That's a
great question. And what like the technical day traders will do is they'll take these charts and they will watch to the second what's happening. And then based on what the graph looks like, that will determine what their decision will be. So that's how granular it gets. Imagine I always like to bring it back to something we know. Imagine a doctor is keeping very close track of like a patient's heart rate, the monitors that's going.
Yes.
And they're trying to.
That's what it looks like, actually.
Right. Take care of the patient based on how they're seeing it.
Yes.
That's what a day trader's doing.
That's interesting.
I don't have the time to sit there every second and do it. And I just, maybe one point I would like to, but right now I'm good. I don't want to. So what I do, it's called swing trading. And swing trading means that you're not making a trade in a day period, right? So a day trader, all day, they're making different trades. Swing is you might make it over 2 days, 3 days, 4 weeks, 2 weeks.
Okay.
So what I'll do is I'll keep an idea of like where the coin has moved over like a 30-day moving average. So I'll just see like the highs, lows, where it's at. And I'll want to target it somewhere within that range. So for example, right now, Bitcoin is trading at like 2 days ago, it was at 65K. Now it's at 59K.
So this would be a dip.
for me, if I see what I'm gonna like personally waiting for, if it dips below 56, I'm gonna buy it. If it dips below, and if we get, if it dips below again before 50, I'll buy it again. But there's different.
But this is something you don't sell. When you hold on to this, you're holding on to this. Correct?
I'll tell you. I'll tell you exactly the amount. I sold about $14,000 worth of Bitcoin when it hit its 50, when it hit the 66,000 range. Only because I was like, I've never seen it hit this number.
Right.
Now, I'm sure it's going to supersede that. But look I sold it at 66. I could get back in right now at 59, but I'm going to wait. If it pulls back more, I'll get back in. So I'm trying to make my entry point as low as it can.
Got it. So what does that translate to? Let's say that you pulled that out, you had 14 grand, it gets below what you want, you put back in. How much money did you make off that in the end then?
Well, so off that 14 grand, I'm just going to do like a high level.
Yeah.
So if I pull the 14 grand based on probably what I bought the coin at when it was in it's 30s, 40s, let's say I doubled it. So I made 7 grand off that transaction. Let's say we take that 14 grand, we put it back in at 55K. It goes back up to 65K. You're talking just with that $14,000, you're making roughly around $12,000. So if you think about the returns on that, forget about the money, right? 12. Right. Think about you're risking 14,000, then you're making 12. That's almost 100% returns.
I mean,
and what does your bank account pay right now? Our bank accounts pay 0.001%.
Yeah. Right.
So anything above inflation is really a win.
That's incredible. And there's all and the variety of coins. I mean, I can tell how people can really get obsessed with this. Because you start to think, because there's so much positive feedback coming. I mean, when I hear that, Jason, what it makes me want to do is go take my $5 out of my account. I'm teasing. But it does make me want to move more money into it. It's like I'm not making my savings account makes absolutely $0 per year on anything that I have in there. So why wouldn't I move? Why wouldn't I do that and take the ride of crypto? I mean, is there a possibility that if I say, because I can tell myself I'm interested in going and looking at my bank account. I'm sure our listeners are interested in going and looking and saying, do you know what I want to do? I want to take $10,000 out of my bank account. I want to move it over because I want those gains. Yeah. Is it a possibility that if we take out that $10,000 of our bank, out of our bank account and put it in crypto, in one of the big ones, Bitcoin or Ethereum, am I looking at maybe putting that on the line? Am I going to lose that $10,000?
I think you said it best. You said, why do I not want to go on the ride with Bitcoin? That's what your question was when you were asking. I think that the exact answer is just that. Are you mentally, emotionally, and financially prepared to go on that ride?
Yes.
If you're willing to do so. You got guys like Anthony Popoliano who are worth millions and millions of dollars, literally putting everything at stake. The only thing I would advise, are you ready for that ride? Because it is a ride. We have seen from March to now November. In March, it was trending around $60,000 a coin Bitcoin. In the summer, it went down to $30,000. Imagine you bought one coin for $60K, then boom, you just lost half of it.
Right.
It's extremely volatile. So that's why I always suggest to people, get in the crypto game, buy $1 worth, do what you want. I wouldn't exceed more than the 10 to 15% range of what you can mess with, because it could be, it moves so quickly, so high and so low. Can you stomach that?
Yes. When we had Peter Thomas Roth on and talking about starting up a business, he said something that really resonated with me, and I think it's applicable here. He said, when you're taking a risk financially, you need to imagine the worst case scenario. And if you can't sustain the worst case scenario, you might rethink doing it.
That's well said.
If the worst case scenario is going to completely annihilate you, you probably don't want to take that risk. But if it's just going to suck a little bit, then
Exactly.
But I think that's a good kind of litmus test for
investing. So that you don't just break your heart.
Completely agree with him. Like, Ann, you said that, if I have $10,000 and I put it into Bitcoin, what my question back to you would be like, so if I take that $10,000 away from you and you don't ever see a penny of it, are you sustainable? Do you have 3 to 6 months saved? Do you have some retirement funds going? How pertinent is that to you? And if you said, you know what, it wouldn't really change my life that much, I would say,
go for it.
Maybe give it a go. And the one thing is dollar cost averaging. We talked about it before. I'll say it again. For beginners, dollar cost averaging is the easiest way to get into a stock, crypto coin. What is it? You pick one day a month, you pick the same time, and at that time, no matter what the price is, you buy a certain dollar amount of that stock. Because if you do that, the first of every month at 12 o'clock, you now have 12 different entry points to that stock at different prices, and it helps you with the swings.
Okay, I'm loving this. We have some other things that we want to talk about today. We always find that we have so many things that we want to ask you about.
Let's take a quick break, and when we come back, we'll dive into a little more.
Great.
Love it.
You all know Heather is crazy about skincare. Some of her home remedies have been a bit strange. For example, want to share?
Strange? You think it's strange to put 10 different products on your face before you go to bed? That it takes me an hour and a half to put on all of my stuff before I go to bed? That I rub needles on my face?
Exactly. None of that works. But you do know what actually works? Prescription treatments. That's why we're excited to partner with Apostrophe. Apostrophe is a prescription skincare company that offers science-backed oral and topical medications that are clinically proven to help clear acne. Apostrophe connects you with a board-certified dermatologist who will create a personalized treatment plan that is perfectly tailored to your unique skin. Apostrophe treats acne, and they can also help you hit your other skincare goals, like reducing redness, wrinkles, and even dark spots. Heather will love this. Heather, what are some of your skincare goals?
All the things you just said.
That's why we have a special deal for our audience. Save $15 off your first visit with a board-certified dermatologist at apostrophe.com/better when you use our code BETTER. This code is only available to our listeners. To get started, just go to apostrophe.com/better and click begin visit, then use our code BETTER at sign up, and you'll get $15 off your dermatology visit. That's apostrophe.com/better and use that code BETTER to get your dermatology visit and save $15. And we thank Apostrophe for sponsoring the podcast.
We're back with Jason Tartick. We just kind of gave the update on our Bitcoin
I think
purchasing.
everybody's going and looking at Ethereum, Bitcoin. How much money do I have in my bank account?
Well, and it brings us to having any extra money, right?
Well, yes.
So that
That's a
that
good
brings
bridge.
up things like saving for retirement,
Yes.
and then security of life insurance, like
Yes.
all of those things, are obviously extra money,
Yes,
right? And
yes.
so we had a question from one of our viewers about both of those things, and they were kind of when to start saving for retirement.
I think we already should have started. I can hear Jason going, well, if you girls haven't started, you probably should.
We have started. We're good. We're good adjacent.
We're good adjacent. We're good adjacent, Jason.
Because I never thought I would get that old.
Well, of course not.
You never think you're going to get that old. You also never think your kids.
We're not old adjacent.
You also never think your kids are going to be old enough to go to college. And then all of a sudden you're like,
And that
Exactly.
how'd that happen? So anyways, let's dive into a little of those and take us wherever pick up wherever you want to start.
Yeah, I think the common denominator with both of those things, life insurance and retirement, is you really have to think, how dependent are people on you? So, right, let's first talk about retirement. How many people are dependent on your financials? Is it just maybe you and your husband or you and your wife? You have to assess that. And essentially all you're doing when you retire is you are saving so that when you leave your job, that money will survive the entirety of the rest of your life. So it becomes kind of a difficult conversation, because you're starting to think about, how long will you live, and how do you
a lot longer than we used to.
A lot longer than you used to. And do you want to pass money on?
Yes.
And so the best thing I could tell anyone that's starting to save for retirement is the sooner you start, the better. You should start yesterday if you don't have a plan in place, because the best thing going for you is time. The more time you have, the more money you'll make on your money. Now, also, I think it's important for people to know, a lot of people will say, like, I'm relying on Social Security. I'll retire with Social Security money. The big thing is with Social Security is that you can start you ideally want to take it when you retire. So let's say it's 66 and a half, right?
Is that the retirement age?
Yeah.
Even for actors?
You can start the benefit. You're like, oh shit, I got to.
Oh my goodness sakes.
You could start the benefit of Social Security at 62, and you could wait until 70. Why would you wait to take the Social Security benefit? Because the government incentivizes you that the monthly amount they will give you once you retire, it will be more if you wait to take it.
Yes.
So there's an example of if you were to get $1,000 when you retire, if you took it early at 62, that would pay you $708 a month for the rest of your life. But if you waited until 70, that would pay you about $1,250 a month for the rest of your life. So
which of course we all want to wait as long as we can. However,
and you also have your pension from SAG.
From SAG. I mean, that's I'm lucky in that I've been working as an actress since I was 12. but it is kind of amazing, and I think about that. And please tell us about what early retirement is, and what. Well, of course, it's going to decrease because you're going to get penalized for taking out early retirement before. But I think that's also a possibility too. I think people are. I mean, of course, everyone lives in some fear and goes in and out. But I start thinking about that, and I like that you're saying how hard it, again, looking at things that are really difficult to talk about, because I start going, wait a minute, wait, 65, and what does that look like as an actress? There's so much fear, and now there's been so much people, I just feel I have such a heartbreak for what everyone went through during COVID, because I think a lot of people are really looking at their different options right now going, well, if I have this, maybe I should retire early, because how am I going to, there's just so much instability, it seems, right now in the work-a-day person, the people who are really going paycheck to paycheck.
100%. I think that's one of the things you have to do is like understand what your monthly expenses are and what you think they'll be. And then as tough as that might be, you have to kind of project like how long, based on family history and health, do you think that you'll live, and do you have enough money for that? One of the issues is people rely, I think, too much on Social Security. But if we look at these numbers, if you're getting $800, let's just say $1,000 a month, that means you'd have to live your life, the rest of your life, off $12,000 a year. And so if you suppose you didn't have any retirement, and that is devastating. So one thing I would say, like, what everyone should do as a starter is to wake them up a little bit, is you can go to socialsecurity.gov/estimator.
Yes.
And that will tell you what your earnings should be, like what you should get for Social Security. So then you could start thinking like, oh shoot, if I'm only going to get $800 a month, I really got to start putting a plan in place for myself, because Social Security won't be enough. And
okay, that's something that I think, I mean, that is our to-do this month, folks. Go and look and get. One of the things that, Jason, you encourage in us so much, tell the truth about your finances.
Well, and look, and open your mail.
Difficult
Remember
thing.
when
Open
we
your
started
mail.
This, I didn't open my mail. I open my mail now.
And it's true.
It's very
I do
unpleasant.
too.
And sometimes I'll be like, I'm not in the mood. I don't want to see this. This is some random, I have the top of the line insurance and a healthy family. Yes. Yet I have more medical bills with that. It's the most frustrating. Every bill is like, it costs me $275 to get a mammogram after insurance. Wow. So anyways, I just don't like, it's always going to be like some lame ass thing that I'm going to, so I'm always like, I'm not in the mood. I know. But if I'm not in the mood then, I'm not going to be in the mood later. So I just tear that thing open. I've started to make my son open them. I'm like, open it. Tell me what they want, And he's
yes, it's so funny.
Yeah, and it's funny how he'll say like, I don't think this is real. I'm like, let me see. He's like, well, you're going to get a check for $30,000 from, I'm like, no, that is called junk mail.
That's called junk mail. We would wish it was real. The flip side of that is when it isn't anything that's a bill or something that's painful, because I'd go through the same thing you did with mail, as you know. And when you don't, the flip side is like, oh yay, I'm not being billed something. Oh, hurrah.
But the point of it all is to not ignore it. And I think that retirement is something that we ignore the shit out of, because it's unpleasant.
The last thing we want to
don't think it's going to happen. We always think it's going to be different down the line, and then all of the sudden it is down the line. And I can say that for college, for saving for college. Like I thought like, it'll be fine by then, and it's, it's fine, but it's not like, I wish that I would have put a better plan in place to slowly build that college account.
True, me too. I wish I had too. You're making me feel really guilty for not having a college account for my 12-year-old Dallas.
I would encourage everybody to, and myself and you, to really today kind of think about like, all right, let's not ignore this anymore. We know it's coming. What small step can we do? Can you even set up, I know that I have something set up with my bank that, every month they throw a bunch of money into savings for me. I usually take some of that money from time to time. It's kind of like my rolling, it's not my real savings account. It's kind of just like, it's there, but is there a way to have them take away money that you can't get?
Yeah, well, you could set up auto ACH, so you create that auto transfer. And
so
the
it
other
has
thing
to
I would
go.
recommend is anyone out there that is working for a company, sit down with your HR director to understand all the benefits your company will provide you. You already mentioned insurance. They can walk you through what you could do with your 401k, how to set up a Roth, how to use your health savings account. They can get you discounted stock. So as an employee, there's a lot of companies that will give you discounted stock. Wow. I mean, the list of benefits.
How do they do that? How do they give you discounted stock? That seems almost
because they're the company that has
they're
it.
the company, so they'll buy it.
Stock in their company.
Yeah, so like when I
they give you that as a they do that a lot for like an investment. They'll give you that rather than a salary, or you get X amount of X amount of what are they called?
Like when the guy wanted to pay me with Bitcoin, and I said,
"There you go,
not an idiot." No.
So that's like an assignment I would say to all your viewers, like sit down with your HR
terrific
or your someone and go over all your retirement benefits. They'll give you insurance. Most companies will give you life insurance up to a certain dollar. So if you're not taking advantage of that, you got to get on it.
Let us talk about, I have one other question. Can I also go to my so can you go to your unions too? The unions are the ones that provide, but do all unions provide retirement?
So it depends on what the setup is with the union, but they may have a pension. They may have other retirement vehicles. The thing is if you have a union, like SAG-AFTRA, you go to the representative and say, I need someone to lay out exactly what my options are and who you guys work with. Because the thing is a union has a lot of pooled money. When you have a lot of pooled money, you have the ability to get the best institutions in the world managing that money. So they have connections and people that they could introduce you to because you're part of the union.
Okay.
Well, so next time you have 7 hours to wait on hold with SAG-AFTRA. They literally, we were trying to call to do something, and it's like, we will be with you in 3.5 hours.
It is absolutely true. The thing is, the dude. So whatever unions, we're talking about my union, and I just got back from shooting a movie called What Remains. What remains? It's not a good title to talk about when you're talking about money.
Money. What's left?
Yeah. What's left? But you have to pay dues. But I didn't know that. They sent it to my old business manager. So Heather's calling me saying like, listen, we need to pay your dues. And I'm like, I'm on set. And she's like, well, you need to let me do it for you. Just give me. Well, it took her to the end of the day. She's like, they just told me I was going to be on hold for 4 hours. Like, not a joke.
It was like, and then like, and then,
It's so
that should
ridiculous.
be illegal right there.
The worst was when I was on hold for 2 hours for something and my dog stepped on the phone. I'm like, bro. No.
That's hilarious.
No.
Jason's dogs would never do that. He's like, so can we, did we talk about life insurance? Can I talk
We might
quickly
save that
about
for
life
next
insurance?
time,
Should we
think.
save it for next time? Because I have to tell you, I started looking into it for Homer. Okay, so, an Atlas, because of course I'm thinking about all of these things facing my life.
I need it for
you. You do need it for
no,
me.
but that's a real thing.
And you need it for me, by the way.
Why don't we
Business
get it?
insurance with your partner, it's called Key Man Insurance. That's a very real thing.
Key man. All
Key
right.
man.
We need some of that key man insurance.
Okay,
Because think
so
about it, if a key man in your company were to pass away, like they have a value, man or woman, of course, they have a value that
we hope they do.
Well, and let's talk a little bit about insurance for companies because, I have one for my company and I have one for our company, and it's only. I use a company called Hisix, and it's like $29 a month to cover yourself.
Well,
And anybody that has their own business should have that business insurance. For
what does the business insurance cover?
it covers your ass in case of like, look, look at the tragedy that happened on that film.
Oh my goodness sakes! I mean, this really takes us. I know, Jason. We were trying to really take care of your yes, that tragedy. That's what you have insurance for. We're taking care of.
I mean, obviously
all
that
our
doesn't
time,
bring anybody back, but there is going to be massive civil lawsuits, and those if they didn't
my
have
goodness
insurance, you just never know what can go wrong. Obviously.
I think another good takeaway maybe for the next episode.
Yes, please.
You two come back to the table and you identify if you do have health insurance and what it is and how much you're paying for it.
Terrific.
And we could walk through the different types of insurance there is, because there's whole, there's term, and then there's universal, there's permanent, there's different types of insurance.
Okay.
They come at different costs. And I could also send you guys with a resource after next episode to send you to check and see if you're getting the right rate for your insurance.
Oh, that would be great.
Incredible. So tell us again. So what are we to do? Give us our to-dos?
So your to-dos are, and Ryan, you're going to have to recap this back to me or send me this.
Yes.
The to-dos, so I'm prepared. So we're ready.
Okay, good.
I'm going to keep you guys accountable.
Yeah.
Okay.
To
You got it.
outline and understand, one, if you have any type of life insurance out there.
Okay.
If you do, who it's with, what kind of insurance it is, and how much you're paying for it.
Fantastic.
Okay.
And you also gave us another job, and that was what's this?
So that is for both of you two to go to socialsecurity.gov/estimator. That is what I would encourage anyone listening to do too.
I'm going to say this to our audience. Yes, please. Let's all do this together. We are getting better with Jason Tartick, and we cannot thank you enough for being on the show with us today. Is that a wrap up?
Yes, but by the time this comes out, our episode on trading secrets will be out. So I hope our tribe will move over to the Trading Secrets tribe. And if you haven't subscribed to Trading Secrets,
it's a must.
Do so on our episode so that it just shows the massive
Jason,
numbers.
Exactly. I mean, millions of people flock to Jason Tartick's Trading Secrets.
So when does Trading Secrets drop?
So Trading Secrets drops every Monday. There's a new episode. And so this is, I think we'll come out together because usually we're the first of the month. So I believe next Monday is November 1st.
All
and
right.
So the cool thing is, if you guys
we have a double whammy.
We'll come out Thursday. We do the first, you'll come out Thursday, and I guess we'll come out on Monday on your show. So by then, it'll be up. So when you're listening to this, you can go straight to wherever you listen to your podcasts and subscribe to Trading Secrets. You have to subscribe before you can listen to it.
Okay. Always a pleasure, and also a learning experience with you, Jason. What a pleasure. Right. Until next time, everybody, don't be a dick.
What?
I took your saying. What do you say? What do you say back?
Don't be a dick. You're trying to steal my line.
Stealing her thunder.
You're stealing her thunder.
Live in loving kindness and don't be a dick.
Amen. We love you, Jason.
Love you guys. Thank you for having me.
And a big thanks to our Better Together team, Ryan Tillotson, Silvana Alcala, Daniel Ferreira, and of course, Ann and Heather. If you haven't already, please subscribe on whatever device or platform you're listening to this on. And as always, see you next week.